She-Hulk episode 2 just dropped, and I gotta say, I liked this episode. I think I liked it more than the pilot. It was better paced, but I think my issue with this episode is it really just feels like that these episodes should have been dropped together, because the plot of this episode, spoilers, is basically everything we saw in the trailers, which is essentially Jennifer Walters, after the incident that happened at the end of the first episode, loses her job, tries to get some other jobs, can't really do it until her old boss comes in and says, "Hey, we're opening a new division for people who have superhuman abilities, and we want you to take on the case of Abomination." And then she meets Abomination, and that's essentially it. That's all that happens in this episode. I do like that these episodes are shorter because it does feel like the Marvel shows have very poorly paced episodes. Like, for being an hour long, they don't really ever feel like they need to be that long, or even when they do, like WandaVision, it's still kind of annoying, especially since WandaVision, it's like you're basing it off of a sitcom type show, but you're not actually have the episode lengths of a sitcom. It's weird. I don't know, but I enjoyed this uh, episode a lot. It was very funny through a lot of it, though most of this episode, unlike the first episode, is more plot, because it feels like with like stuff like the training in the first episode and other things like that was more goofy while it was plot oriented. They were having more fun goofing around. This very much feels like we're setting up the plot of the episode, though it's like when this episode's so short, you get to the end of it and you see, oh shit, Abomination, video leaked of him underground fighting, and you're like, okay, I know where this is going. They're gonna bring in Wong, which we saw in the trailers. Though that's kind of like that's one thing I'm not liking about this show so far, and I don't think this will be a problem towards the end of the show. Too much has been shown in the trailers where these episodes aren't exciting anymore, because like I know the plot of this show, and so these episodes are just setting up the plot of this show. But it's cool. I did was The only thing that's really interesting is that there's rumors of a World War Hulk movie, and in the first episode we see this spaceship, right? And it's obviously a Sakaar spaceship, which is the planet that Hulk and Thor were on in Thor Ragnarok, which means more Jeff Goldblum coming down the pipeline. Which, hell yes, if you know me, I'm a big Jeff Goldblum fan. Jokingly so, but mostly I do really enjoy him as an actor. But he is, so we she calls him up, tells him she got the job, has a little conversation. Hey, I'm supporting and taking this case of the Abomination. Do you mind this? He's like, no, 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 it's good. But he's like, I'm taking care of some business. And then it just cuts to him in a spaceship. And so we don't really know what's going on. It's kind of weird that if this is setting up a World War Hulk movie, it makes sense. But there's also a level of you're watching it going, why are you so calm about going into space? Like, what are you doing out there? I don't know. Because I know the World War Hulk storyline exists in comics. I have not read it. I'm gonna watch these things first, then I'll read the comics, because I think that was kind of like one of the things about Infinity Wars. I read the comic, the Infinity Gauntlet, so characters getting dusted at the end of that was not shocking at all. And I mean, it was more shocking what characters and how they did it, but if you know the storyline, it's like, well, you're not really shocked that characters were getting dusted at the end of that show or at the end of that movie. So I kind of want to enjoy these things as they come out and not really go back and read the comics until after it's already happened. But I'm excited for this storyline. Uh, but yeah, I mean, this is a good show. I think the people hating on the show are either just sexist and racist, homophobes and racist, and every phobist, every bad thing you can be, essentially attacking the show, or they're just people who just like they either just don't get it, and that's fine if you don't get it, but like calm down. This show's pretty good. It's a funny show. Um, if you're, I mean, it's written by the people who did Pickle Rick. I wasn't a big fan of that episode of Rick and Morty, but I have been really enjoying this show, and I'm glad it's out there. And there's humor to it, and I do think a lot of that female centric comedy in the first episode did die down a little bit by the time we got to this episode. So this is a fun show. Definitely check it out.